So, where are we at, girl?
7. It's cool. Hello,
Doing
Dylan.
that thing.
Hello, Dylan. Hello, Dylan. Is he there?
Hello, fella.
Is
What's
he
happening?
On? Oh, hello. Hello. I was just saying hello to you, and you weren't there.
Dude,
And then you were.
are you...
Like a magical little leprechaun jumping out of a pot of gold.
Right. Welcome to a new episode of the OverAndOut show.
Yeah, episode 11. All the ones.
Oh, dude, here. It feels more serious
Okay.
now that we're on
Okay.
double figures.
You know what the big thing will be, though, when we get to 20? Because as we know from the daily talk show, they didn't put anything up online until they did 20 episodes. So we're just... Well, we're doing that now, but kind of live. Just putting it online anyway.
Yeah.
But I think because their show's great. And how many episodes are they on now?
680 or something like that. Dude, they are now doing 2 a day.
What?
2 episodes a day.
I thought we were doing really great with 1 a day.
I know. I saw Tommy Jacket stick up a post today, and he was like, "We're going to be doing 2 a day for you guys." Plus, they still do their they do their weekend one. But like, theirs is more. I mean, those dudes are pros at it. They're like best of the business, best in the business.
Are you saying we're not pro?
Wow. What did you plan for today's episode?
What did I plan?
Yeah.
Well, that was the whole point, though.
No, I know,
phone
but
up
like,
and chat.
yeah, well, that's the difference, though, isn't it? Like, we have created an environment that allows us and expects us to fail, but that's part of it. Do you know what I mean? Not fail.
Oh,
Fail's
I missed
the
that
wrong-
last bit. Your phone cut out.
No, it
That's
didn't.
the first time this has happened. It did. You said expects us to, and then it disappeared.
Well,
And then you can't. Anyway, yeah.
we've
carry
created an environment that expects and allows us to fail, and it's totally fine. You know, it's like it's supposed to be rough and ready, and that's kind of what allows us. Where those dudes, when like you listen to their show, it's so produced and so well done. And I mean, the three of them there, you got Mr. 97 in the background, just keeping shit on track the whole time.
We don't have a Mr. 97.
No, but that's why we lean away from each other and do the googling ourselves.
Yeah.
You know,
We don't need a 97.
would you like to be our 97? We could bring
Cool.
a third person.
0800 be a 97.
Be a 97. So what's happening? How are you today?
Well, I'll
Crowd
just
shut
get
down.
over this quickly because I don't know if you. Oh God,
Jesus.
you're not interested, are you?
I
no
am.
one's interested.
Look, no one's got anything else to do. Tell us how you're feeling.
Great. No, I'm feeling great. Like, I've actually, it was. I'll be honest. I think it was episode 8. I was not feeling it. I was, in deep. Yeah, it was a deep low point of the quarantine situation. But now it's it's normal life.
Yeah.
So I think I've got into it, and it's like we're still allowed out. We can do all those things, but I'll just touch on this briefly because it's probably not interesting to a lot of people. But I'm doing a project for a client in Premiere, and I can't edit at the speed Premiere allows. Now I don't want to say like I'm too fast, but it's like I want to do stuff, and it's got great features, right? And the color grading in it's amazing. Like being able to do what you can do in it, and it's got all these like amazing things like auto ducking, and it just lots of stuff to really help you out. But it just feels like it's so clogged with amazing stuff, it just can't do the thing it should do, which is just play.
Yeah. 2 seconds.
And it's very frustrating.
2 seconds.
What's going on?
My sisters decided to just decline that. To
okay.
FaceTime me. My family had decided, tomorrow we'll do a group FaceTime at 7 o'clock. This guy never okayed that. Never said yes.
No.
Here's an idea. Leave me alone. Right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And she listens as well, so
she
she'll
does.
understand.
Well, yeah, but she doesn't know it's happening right now, to be fair.
Well,
She will be hearing this.
She doesn't listen live.
No.
Well, no one does apart
No one
from
does.
us.
Yeah. And even we only hear or see half of it. So yeah, you're saying it's rammed with features, but is a pain in the dick to use.
Yeah, because like today, it's a quick example, and I'm totally up for learning. By the way, if someone has an answer to all of this, like I am willing to take it on board because I do need to do this job, and they want it done in Premiere. So it's like that's cool, but it's like I did minimal color grading, have 3 titles on it, a bit of like keyframing audio adjustment, and then I went to press like it wasn't playing back like normally, like it does in Final Cut. So I rendered the whole thing out. Took 15 minutes. For a 3-minute 15 video.
Holy shit.
And then still couldn't play smoothly, even with the green line fully rendered. And I can't operate at that speed. I can't do it. I would sooner let go of like the amazing color grading features and all the audio features to just get the job done quicker.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to deal with that. And it's very frustrating.
And it's funny when you see this online where people like share their timelines. Hey, look at my overcomplicated Premiere Pro timeline. I'm like, that's going to take about 4 years to render. Mm-hmm. It's painful. And when people are like, here's some quick ways you can edit and the ways to speed up Premiere Pro, I'm just, don't use it. Yeah. Most of us,
just don't use it.
So many of us don't need to be using it for the majority of what we do.
No.
I mean, I learned, my initial editing experience was on Avid Cinema, like way back. We used to burn from Avid onto VHS tape. All right, that was one of the first.
That's editing. A long time ago.
Yeah, and Premiere Pro feels like that.
It does.
It feels
now,
like it's the same speed.
Yeah.
And
but
then
I
think I went from there and then did the whole iMovie thing, and then went on to Premiere Pro, and used Premiere Pro for a few years. That was cool, and it is. It's got so much functionality, but when you haven't used Final Cut and you haven't used Final Cut a lot, you don't really understand. Premiere Pro is kind of, you just accept the bullshit. Do you know when you just do something dumb forever until someone goes, there's a quicker way, and you go, is there?
Yeah.
And they show you, and you think, wow. I've definitely lost full 2 days in the last year just waiting for that little thing. So it wasn't until I started using Final Cut Pro 4 years ago maybe, and I was like, holy shit, this thing is like iMovie on steroids. And then even when I met you,
that's a great way to put it.
It is, isn't it? Because people are like, I've only got iMovie. I'm like, it's fine. iMovie's totally fine for what it is.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until you showed me actually a few quick things with keywords and some basic like in-outs and drop on the timeline things to just speed it all up. Like I could do something. There's edits I've done on Premiere Pro that just to do the basic edit, to import the footage, go through the footage, organize it, cut it, edit it for like say like a 5-minute video for YouTube or Instagram. For me to do that would probably take like just to get it to the point where it's all cut and in line.
Yeah.
If it was shot in sequence, that would probably take me like half an hour in Premiere Pro. And it would take me like 8 minutes in Final Cut.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just don't understand. But you know what? Like, I think that's more to do with Apple own in Final Cut, because Final Cut for me is just like it's like every Apple product versus everything else on the market. So like people always are, it's like Premiere Pro's got all these other things. Yeah, but they're a pain to use. Where it's like every other phone, people are like, oh, I don't use Apple phones because you can't unlock it or jailbreak it or use this third-party app or do these extra features. Mine can do all this mad shit. Pamela's got a Huawei and it does all this mad stuff. And it's like, cool, but in a nutshell, dog eggs phone.
Yeah.
Like Apple limit a lot of stuff so that the shit that they've got works really, really well.
I think as well, it's like, because I was talking to, our friend Blake, camera guy. I spoke to him about it, and he said, "Well, Premiere's great, like for TV, and he shoots a lot of video, and he's a camera guy for TV." And I totally get that, because they have a graphics department, they have an audio department, and there's all these different people working on one project.
Yeah.
And I totally understand Premiere there, because it's like, well, you can share it around, and everyone's working on it, and then it all goes into the timeline. God knows how they keep to the schedule of the TV show.
Yeah.
That I don't know, but in principle I understand it. But when you're doing a 3-minute 15 corporate video or YouTube video or a tutorial video, I don't understand why you'd want to put yourself through that.
Yeah.
And maybe I maybe there's just things I'm missing and I'm just not willing to learn or to sit through it, and if someone can tell me just how to make it just play normally, I'd be more than happy to use it. But at the moment, I'm just like, I just want to throw the laptop out the window, to be quite honest.
I know what you mean, dude. And I'd be the same. Like, I'm probably exactly the same as you. It's like I've used it and there were issues, and maybe someone does know, but that render thing for me is like you edit up something and you hit and you render it and then you play and then you cut one clip and then you have to render the whole thing again. And that does my head in. But like that's one thing is that if it's big intricate projects for TV or film or something like that, and there's multiple people working on it, fine. But most of us are doing like linear edits, 1 to 3 lines of video, couple of audio tracks. Even at that, like, it's like, I mean, I've just finished editing my California video from last June. Holy shit. Dude.
Is this going to get an actual public release, or is this a family only video?
Well, I had a dream, and then it got ruined. So I edited the footage, right? So for those people that don't know, we were away for like 21 days in California, 3 weeks, something like that, in Cali, driving around, and pretty much a different place every day. And I filmed all this stuff, and I had all these ideas what I wanted to do, and then I kind of got distracted and did Instagram stories, so I did a daily Instagram story video edit every single day, filmed and edit on the phone, and I took photos throughout the trip, and I filmed a vlog the whole trip. And the vlog, when I cut it down, like as much as I could cut down without losing stuff that I liked, it was 2.5 hours long. No, it was 3.5 hours long pre-edit, and then I cut the edit down to 1 hour and 5 minutes. But that is an edit for us, like the family. But it's got music and stuff. So what I'm going to do from now is condense that whole edit down to like 10 minutes, maybe?
Yeah, I think 10, 12 minutes would be nice.
Yeah, theoretically. My face is like, how am I going to do that? And I don't know if I'm just going to VO the whole thing, because I did all these pieces of cameras throughout. So patching them all together. And there was 3 cameras as well. I was shooting with 2 cameras and the phone. And just, dude, it was just like, you should see the timeline, Final Cut timeline. It's like it's 30 rows of stuff. It's insane. But
what's really interesting is that when you do a cut like that and you've got like like an hour, and then you start cutting it down, and especially with client work as well, once it's gone, you never remember it was there. Yeah, true. So true. And it's like, because a lot of client stuff, it's like they don't see it. Right, so you go, oh shit, but this, that, and that, and then you start editing it out, and then you show it to like a peer or someone you're working with on it, and they're like, oh yeah, that's great. And you're like, so you don't care that this massive section of when we were in Big Sur isn't in the video? Oh, we went to Big Sur, didn't we? Oh yeah, why isn't that in there? And it's like, so if I hadn't told you, exactly, we'd be fine. It just wouldn't have been, So you'll probably get to it, and then you'll just cut a load out, and then Pamela and the kids and the family will go, oh, I remember that. We had a great time. You just put all the best bits in. Lovely.
Even worse than that, like,
what?
I did a premiere a couple of days ago. Said to the guys, the kids and the wife, right, guys, here we go. Plug this mother into the blooming thing. Got the surround sound plugged into the laptop. Got it all ready to rock. Played it. I was so stoked on the last section. We were at like Manhattan Beach, this beautiful sunset, where there was loads of like moody, cinematic B-roll.
Was it in slow-mo?
Yeah, of course it was. 120.
Speed ramp?
For life. Not even speed ramps, actually. Just loads of slow-mos in this really awesome sunset of like Pamela and the kids and their faces and stuff. And just this real beautiful stuff, all right? Family bullshit. And then it fades out, and then I say this piece to camera that's really like heartwarming, and then it cuts to this like I don't know, like fucking show reel of photos, and just this banging track. It just uplifts you. It's about all in all, that last bit was about 8 minutes. We watched all of this. Bear in mind, this video is about 1 hour and 8 minutes long, and at the hour mark, Pamela goes, "I'm going to bed. Just get up and go to bed." And I was like, excuse me, there's 8 minutes left of this family video that you're in, like you're featuring. She goes, I'm just a bit tired. And then she just fucking walked off to bed. And the kids and I looked at her, and I looked at the two of them. I was like, what the fuck just happened? I've been editing this thing for like 9 months. It's been the bane of my existence, and now you've just gone, I'm alright actually. I'm just going to crack off to bed real quick. She says to me there now. That was like 4 days ago. She says to me there, oh, by the way, I'll watch the rest of that video tomorrow. And I went, will you now? because it's on the laptop, and I'm not plugging that shit in again. You missed it. You can watch it on its public release on YouTube.
Oh, wow. Isn't that funny, though?
Didn't give a
It's
fuck.
like you put all that work in, and it's like, you can't even sit into the last 8 minutes. But what's interesting about that is that she's in it.
I know.
Now, normally, you know when you show people photos or videos, or, you know, when you shove a video online of a conference, and you can watch, like, if you look at the stats and all the stuff on YouTube and the analytics, you can see where people have rewinded. When someone was talking, they'll rewind it. So there's lots of little spikes in the video. And it's weird because people normally only watch videos like that because they're in it.
Yeah.
And the fact that Pamela
Was bored of herself.
I don't even want to watch myself.
And it's
That's
me filming,
amazing.
so literally, like, 80% of the time the camera's pointing at them. It's very rarely pointing at me unless I've set it up. And then, like the other day, right? So I was filming this bit all about the isolation period. Well, I wasn't really, but it's going to be in that anyway. It's filming this bit. We're down at the beach. It's like just before the lockdown. We're taking this down on the beach. And I set the camera up on these rocks and point it towards us. And Pamela's standing there at the water's edge, like skimming some stones. And I walk up behind her and just give her a hug.
Yeah.
And then a kiss. And she goes, "Oh, thanks very much." And I was like, "Oh, you're welcome." Just gazed into her eyes and smiled. And then, like, stood there for 10 seconds and then walked off. She's like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "To get the camera."
Oh, you're such a romantic.
And she says, "You only kissed me because of the camera." And I was like, "Well, no, actually, that was a legit response." But she's like, "Ah, fuck you," and walks off. And I was like, "Well, that's our life now, to be fair."
Wow.
I mean, it's not,
That's
but
amazing.
it's funny though, isn't it? The way we do things like that. And it's like, I would have kissed her like that anyway, but it's just because I put the camera down, walked over, and there she was. And then that was a natural reaction, because the camera's there, it all feels so fucking stupid.
Yeah. It's interesting because, like, with Yasmin, when we go on holiday, she's always like, I need to do a workout by these rocks here, or we need to do a yoga pose here, or can we do this here? Can we do this? And it's fucking relentless.
Yeah.
It's like I'm an Instagram husband, essentially.
You are. That is,
I am pretty much an
yeah.
Instagram husband. And what's annoying is that what I'll do is I'll go, I'll do some of my own stuff. I'll start, like, working out, and she's like, "Oh, can we just do this for a second?" I'm like, I just want to, okay, fine, we'll do your thing. And then I'll start taking a photo or whatever, and then she'll just take the photo that I'm about to take and then shove it on Instagram before I've even had a chance to, put it up anywhere, or, like, manipulate it and add a mountain in the background or whatever I'm going to do with it.
Have you you've set the photo up and she's just straight out thieved it?
Yeah, what I'll do is I'll go, that looks really
one,
nice, those palm trees there, and I'll just take a photo and think, I'll fix that in Lightroom, just up the contrast, this, that. And she's already posted that photo, stolen it, and put it on Instagram. So I'm like, well, I can't put up my photo now, because everyone's going to see that I've adapted it.
Well, here's the thing. First off, I know what you mean. Because if someone else puts a photo up and you're like, "Oh, now they'll know I put a preset on it." And photoshopped out that bin. They're going to know that now. And also, no one cares. There's this idea, isn't there? It's like, "Oh, you've posted that. I can't post it now." Because people will get... No one gives a shit, buddy. No one's watching.
No, I know. The worst thing is, Yasmin and I don't particularly share an audience. Yeah. My audience isn't full of people that enjoy PT, I'll be honest.
No, yeah.
And her audience, well, I don't think they're just camera people looking at some idiot, just trying to make his way through life.
It is funny that, though. Like, even now, I always laugh when we go out. Like, if there's one thing I hate more than a lot of other things, it's groups of people taking photos. Like, that's why I never joined a camera club. Because I hate that sheep mentality. So you see when everyone's going out and it's like, "Hey guys, let's all..." I've been to a couple of these meetup things before, years ago, like Belfast Instagram meetups, and they're kind of fun sometimes because you get to meet some pretty wacky individuals. I mean, that's how Daniel Smith and I became friends.
Talking of wacky individuals.
Talking of absolutely crazy human beings. Danny boy.
Yeah.
And that's how we met. And now we go shoot photos all the time. And it's so funny. Even the two of us go out sometimes. I'm like, "What are we shooting here?" And we're just taking the same photos. And it's still amazing how different they are. But that whole thing of, like, going out with a group of people and everyone's taking photographs of the same shit.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm not. And then people go, what's wrong? I'm not going to post any of these. Why? Everyone's taking the same photo. You're like, yeah, but guess what? No one cares. Not everyone is watching everyone.
Yeah, that is true.
You know, we all think we're all too important. Just everyone thinks they're all too important.
Well, that's like, when you see videos online of, you go, oh, I've got an idea to do this. And then somehow the algorithm hears your idea, and then you go onto the internet and there it is. Some other prick has done it before you.
Well, hold on, what did you just send me today that happened with? Like, it happened last week with me where I mentioned Will Smith. I tagged Will Smith in something, and then suddenly everyone was talking about
Gump.
Yes, Forrest Gump in our podcast a couple of days ago, and then you get advertised. I got Forrest
an
Gump
ad. Yeah.
What?
I don't think it was a Forrest Gump ad, but they were using. What was weird is they were using the Forrest Gump image, but not just Forrest Gump. That particular point in the movie
where he's running,
where he stops running.
Yeah. Mental. And we were talking about this on our... Yeah. But it's that Will Smith thing. Like, if you haven't seen... I tagged Will Smith because me and him are homies. He just ignored me. I tagged him in an Instagram story thinking this will be a laugh. I'll tag him, see if he does something. Of course he didn't. Probably thought, who's that melter? But then suddenly everyone was just talking about Will Smith the next day. And I was like, what? Yeah. What the hell happened? Are we all subconsciously... being pushed the same stuff? So was there like a load of us did Will Smith just infiltrate us? Not that way, mentally through our social media, subconsciously, without us realizing. Started with photographs of inside out blazers.
Yeah. See, I wonder sometimes with the interwebs, especially stuff like YouTube, at what point does the algorithm start and finish? Like, so is it because, let's just say, someone somewhere does like, I don't know, like the ice bucket challenge or whatever it is, and then other people start doing it, so then it's now become popular, so then it gets pushed out further? Or is it someone at YouTube going, right, let's get these 5 people at the top. We've bought some shares in ice buckets. Yeah. So let's get I don't know, let's get Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon, and that Mr. Beast guy. Let's just send them a couple of ice buckets and see what they do.
Yeah.
Not even. That point,
let's start advertising ice buckets to them first. And let's put some people on the street about it. So that when Casey's on his way to work, at the shop he goes every day for his coffee, there's just a guy outside going, ice buckets for sale, just shit like that. And then maybe you send someone to ask Mr. Beast while he's walking down the street if he knows where he can get an ice bucket, and then they're all like, ice bucket, and then you deliver them emails, ice bucket, and then just I think that's what it is.
Yeah, so
that seems way more logical than it just happening by itself.
Yeah, because it just, I mean, obviously things do go viral, as it were, but like, who's controlling that? Is there one person somewhere that just goes, oh, I've got an idea to do this, I'm going to do X, and then it just expands from there. Yeah. Like how virality used to happen, or did it ever happen that way? Oh, I don't know.
Cats with pianos. No one was plugging that. Yeah. That happened organically, didn't it?
That happened. Yeah, it did. And I think it was before YouTube got savvy to the fact that everyone likes cats. Or do we only like cats a lot now because they've been on YouTube so much? Was there a point before the internet where we didn't really like cats? We preferred dogs better. I don't know. Who knows?
I'm getting FaceTime.
Are you
calls.
Googling it?
No, I wasn't. I was getting FaceTime by my dad. People don't realise I didn't agree to this FaceTime family chat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is just so freaking weird. And it is like, when you think you've done, and you're like, I'll mention this, and then everyone's on it. But I think we're just all on the same wavelength. It's just frustrating when you do it and you think, this is an original thought.
Yeah.
And then, like the other day, I did that tweet with the birds about the birds making noise, thinking, it was an original idea in my head. Tweeted it, thought, and then literally 5 minutes later, I just went to others, and everyone was like, "Holy shit, the birds! Oh my god, birds are really loud." I was like, "No."
But we talked about that on the podcast.
We talked about that afterwards. No, we talked about that afterwards. Yeah, but it was just
weird because I'd already been talking about it to Yasmin like ages ago.
All right, sorry.
Which is weird.
Hello, anyone mentioning birds? Ryan mentioned birds before them.
Yeah,
fact,
right? I did.
Or did YouTube put birds outside your house?
Probably. They're probably mechanical birds. Just like they've gone, quick, turn those guys up.
You look outside.
He's not getting it. Turn up the fucking birds.
Yeah. Get a parrot in there. Don't know what that was. A pterodactyl noise. But it's all a bit. It is nuts, isn't it? Like when you start to think about that and how we get advertised to.
And what's really scary is that now your options are sealed off. Because when we were young, and you'd go out and like
during the war,
when you'd go out and like I don't know, say you'd buy a skateboard magazine or you used to buy like
just to
a
stop
rock
you there. But when you said just the beginning of that sentence, you were like, when you used to go out, it sounded like you were going to be like into the coal mines, trying to muster up any kind of money to feed you. When you were out buying skateboards, okay, go on.
No, like when you were younger, you'd had interests like you'd do skateboard, BMXing, surfing, or I was into rock music, so I'd buy Kerrang, and then you'd open it up and you would be served adverts that are all related to what you like.
Mm-hmm.
So in a rock magazine, you'd get like I don't know, goth clothing, maybe skateboarding albums, that kind of thing. Then you're in a skateboard magazine, you'd still be served up the ads for all the like Vans clothes and all that kind of stuff.
But you're not getting served it. That's just where they placed ads in the hope.
That's where they placed ads because they know that the kind of person that reads one of those magazines, the chances are they'll like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But also when you'd go into the magazine shop, you'd have the magazine on the shelf with all the music, but then that would be next to like classical music, which would be then next to like knitting, and you'd be like, oh, there's a whole load of things here I can choose from. And it was almost like your peripheral vision would see other magazines or other like types of things to look at.
Yeah.
And now I find with the internet, because the internet knows you better than like your mum, dad, wife, or peer, they no longer give you that like peripheral vision.
Yeah.
So they go, well, he likes skateboarding, so we'll give him one wheels and probably the Super 73.
Yeah.
But we're certainly not going to give him a horse and cart.
Yeah.
Whereas I kind of like that randomness of when you go and look at something and you're exposed to all these other things. Whereas now I feel that the internet doesn't understand the fact that I like random shit. Do you get what I mean?
Do you though like random shit?
Yeah. Like I like to be told sometimes that like, oh, did you know this classical thing happened in classical music, or this thing's going on in the nursing world at the moment.
Yeah. Hey guys.
No.
Here's some stuff from the gardening world.
Yeah. Wow. Because there are certain times you look at that and you go, actually, if I have to kneel down in the garden, that would actually really do it for my knees.
I bet it would. Oh. And your relationship.
Yeah. You can't resist it, can you?
No.
Always below the belt.
Yeah. Yep. But like that's because traditional media is so much more passive, isn't it? It's the same way in that like your mind wanders. It's more relaxing to consume. You're going through. I mean, like airplane magazines are the best. You're flicking through them. I mean, would you ever choose? Excuse me, while I just burp. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that. Would you ever? I tried to hold on and I thought we could do this. Cannot. Would you ever just go, do you know what I want to look at today? Adverts for really expensive watches or photos of really trim 25-year-old Italian dudes in Calvin Klein underwear sitting on a rock. Have you ever in your life gone, I just want to go look at that photo? Hold on. So I thought, well, I just stop and start the recording.
Jeez. Yeah. Well, I'll be honest.
Would you be quiet down there, please? Oh, I'm back now. Sorry, it was me camera running on. So, like, the thing is with that stuff, like, that's the sort of ads you'll see whenever you're... Am I recording?
I hope you are.
That's the sort of ads you'll see in one of those magazines. And it was kind of like mindless in a way. And it was the same if you go into a magazine shop or a DVD shop or a record store or a VHS shop or whatever it is. And you go in and you're seeing all this other stuff. And that's, for me, I think this has been one of the, write this down in videos we need to make. One of the things for me that has just stifled creativity, for me personally, is that and maybe this goes into what you're saying actually pretty well now that I'm thinking about it, because on the OverAndOut show, we think out loud.
We do.
It's kind of stifled creativity, because years ago, whenever you wanted ideas, you'd have gone and read magazines and you'd have been sitting alone with your thoughts and scribbled things down. And now whenever you want an idea, what's the first thing you do?
You Google it.
Google it. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and some people, if you're a little bit, left field, you go, oh, I create a Pinterest board. Do you? Really?
I don't even know. I've never used Pinterest.
Really? I use it for like home decor in the van and stuff like that. But now I just save things on Instagram. And the problem is that it's always the same shit. So your ideas are like channeled, and everything's everything's really, really structured. That's why everyone does the same shit. And no one's exploring ideas that are out of what they do. Well, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
No, I know exactly. No, I don't know exactly what you mean. It's why I try not to consume that much YouTube of people that are similar to me.
Yeah.
Because I find it quite intimidating. It annoys me because they're doing something that I'm not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
they're
I don't
doing
want that to
what
sound
you
like
can't.
a bad. Yeah, or shouldn't. And which is not a bad thing for them. It's just like, oh fuck it, look at him, he's doing daily this, or that video is so awesome. And there's that whole comparison thing, which is just like a disaster. And then secondly, what was I saying? Oh, I totally forgot.
You were talking about how you're demotivated because everyone's uploading shit and it's driving you mad.
Yeah. And so what I try and do...
him.
Yeah, well... And what I try and do is actually... because I don't watch a lot. I try not to consume a lot of content on YouTube of my peers, as it were. Because, I find it demotivating sometimes. And what would be perceived to be, let's say, inspirational isn't really. Mm-hmm. Not because it's a bad... It's not... It's a good video, but I'm just like, oh, fuck. They've done that. What's the point? And then, so what I like doing is trying to go out and experience other things and try and get inspiration from other places. Like, me, I like an art gallery. I do like an art gallery. You really
do love a good art gallery.
I do like an art gallery. And it's nice because you go in, and I like watching, actually, it's on YouTube, but I like watching YouTube videos of how people like artists like Picasso, Andy Warhol, how they did stuff and how they operated and how they worked. Because it's not what like filmmakers do. Or video makers do, or content creators.
I agree with you.
So that's what I try and do. I try and when I listen to podcasts and stuff, it's usually stuff that's nothing to do with video, because I find it interesting to get stuff from elsewhere.
You're right, and it comes to that saying, comparison is a killer of creativity, because that's the problem. Maybe what we talked about 2 episodes ago was everyone being like, I'll just start making videos and then just making tutorial videos about making fucking videos, and it's like brilliant.
Yeah.
No one's fucking doing, everyone's just teaching. Yeah. And I think that's because that's all we see. You jump in, I'm always like, oh, I just want to go like, here's a weird one. I don't watch YouTube that much on my TV downstairs because I don't find the built-in TV app to be really, I just don't think it's very open. Do you know what I mean? No. Like, if I go onto YouTube on the computer, I can watch a video by someone I like, and then within 2 or 3 videos later, I could be down a fucking weird wormhole watching weird shit. And I'd be like, oh, cool. And then loads of random, and it's much more engaging, and it's much more open for discovery. Where on the TV, I'm like, once I've watched a video, I'm like, what do I watch fucking now? And I feel like...
and then trying to sift through it all and find the person that you want. It's just...
And that's the problem, that idea of comparison. And I think that comes from the fact that social media, online, all of that, and social media has really made it worse, is it force feeds you your stuff, the stuff you consume. So it's force feeding you content continually every single day. And you're not being able to choose. And that's quite hard as someone who creates. If you're a consumer primarily... I would say that's great, because you're just getting fed loads of stuff that you like, and it's not affecting your ability to create. But I say my creation versus consumption is probably like 80-20, and I like it like that. But that 20% needs to be really particular, otherwise it can wildly demotivate me. And it's the same thing as you just said, that you come up with an idea and you're like, I have an idea, I want to explore it. It's come from a whole bunch of things that have influenced me, but I've got to this point where I've written this idea down, and then you're like, oh fuck, that person's kind of done it already. What's the point? And you're like, well, that person has 4 million subscribers and you have 1,000. You're probably okay.
67.
67.
You don't need to hear it from me.
Yeah.
But I think as well, it's because we're in this generation now, especially on YouTube, where you've got all these, let's say, leaders and thought leaders and stuff, like people like Gary Vaynerchuk and stuff, going, you know, you need to share, you need to serve other people, and there's just this constant, oh, when you're serving someone else, you're doing a good thing. And so people go, oh, well, if I teach someone what I know about Final Cut or Premiere or fitness or whatever it is, then I'm doing good.
Yeah.
And there's that thing of like, well, and I think you said this to me ages ago, it's like the reason why I struggle to teach stuff is because I'm like 8 rungs up the ladder from someone that's just getting on the ladder. And I struggle to go, what do you mean you don't know how to do this, this and this?
Yeah.
And I can't even compute that beginning of just getting on the ladder, whereas someone who's maybe only 2 or 3 rungs up the ladder goes, oh shit, yeah, that was last week, I remember doing that, this is how you solve it.
Yeah, you've kind of forgotten the problem.
Yeah. So it's I find it very hard to go back down, and so that gives me a whole load of anxiety, because I'm like, oh, is this video really worth it? Because do I really need to be telling someone to switch the laptop on and open up the camera? And it's like, yeah, you do, because you know what? There are some people that haven't done that yet. Yeah.
Well, I do that with workshops here. Like I'll hold these like physical workshops, and it's all about creating video on your smartphone. And you know, I've been creating videos for a long time, and been doing I do some pretty intricate stuff on my phone. And I have been from before there were apps, way before there were apps like Splice and Adobe Rush. I was doing it on early editions of iMovie, and I was cheating the horizontal video scope, and I was finding ways to like create my own glitches with photos and effects all on my phone, way before. So I'd say I'm very experienced as being a phone content creator, being able to create everything on my phone. So when I go and host these video workshops, like I'll sit down and people will be like, I want to make stories like the way you do. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then I just skim over that first bit. And someone's like, wait, hold on a second. How did you change so you can see yourself on your phone? I'm like, there's 2 cameras on your phone. Yes.
Yeah.
Like the one thing I get all the time is, oh, you don't use the Instagram app to film. I'm like, no.
Oh my God.
And they're like, what app do you use?
See,
I'm like, the camera app, folks, the camera app.
See, that's what blows my mind.
And that's the point where you want to go, I'm out, actually. But I learned that quite early on. I was like, oh, hold on, people are. So now I just ask people, what level are they at? What are they doing? And you know, because otherwise you over-explain it.
Yeah, and it's quite stressful.
Yeah,
trying to, and because then you get like I said, you get the anxiety of like, shit, should I even be making this video? And then that's like a whole other thing, and then you end up not doing it because you're like, well, I just feel this is dumb. Yeah, and you don't, and maybe you should make that video. I mean, you shouldn't. I mean, do what you can't.
Classic example is, what did you send me the other day? I messaged Ryan the other day, and I was like, dude, I've just got all these ideas that I want to create, and I want to put the time and effort into doing some different stuff that I've wanted to do for so long. I was like, the one thing I really want to do is a bunch of stop motion animation things. I used to do this years ago. I was like, I just want to really start creating some stop motion animation. And then literally the next day, what's his name?
Will McCormick?
Will McCormick. Yeah. Ryan's like, look at this screenshot, Will McCormick working on stop motion animation. I was like, mother fuck. And then you just go, what's the point? What's the point? Yeah. You know, I think sometimes this is why I like to act on an idea immediately. I feel like if I don't act on it, like I have an idea and I've got a real short window for being able to achieve something. The longer I leave it, the more I procrastinate on doing that idea. And
but see, then what you're doing is you're not allowing it to like flower and bloom, as it were. So because you want to get it out so quickly, but it's the reason you want to get it out so quick.
Oh, we're talking about videos. All right. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, we're not talking about you doing the elephant. We're talking about you wanting to get out quickly because you can do it before someone else. And it's that, am I going to do this before someone else was?
No, that's never the drive. The drive, I want to get it out quickly.
Sure.
I can't say that now. See, I want to get the idea out quickly because I lose interest in it quite quick. And I think, and then, I think I overthink ideas. I really struggle. Like one challenge I really want to overcome is a long-term project and, be able to shoot something over a period of time. and edit it into. Now I did a real cool job last year for the tourist board, which was like a month of filming, and that was kind of cool. And then I did that California thing, but I mean, like, I want to do like the direction I want to go on my YouTube is like docu-series kind of stuff, where it's more like stories and narrative and documentary rather than, hey guys, got a new lens, check this out, because I'm just not good at that shit. And I get bored halfway through explaining it. So I got it's a microphone, guys. It's on my camera. It records the audio, right?
Yeah,
that's it.
Buy it, don't buy it, whatever.
Yeah, just leave me alone. But yeah, it is funny that, and I think that's kind of what I want to go at. But there you go.
It's interesting because I feel the same. Like whenever I have to do explaining stuff, I end up like not being able to explain it properly because I'm so bored of my own voice explaining it. It's like, Jesus, am I doing this? God, I'm boring myself to death.
Yeah.
How is anyone else going to listen to this? But then you see at the same time, because I do quite a lot of what you're talking about, those docu-series, I've done that quite a bit for like clients.
Yeah.
And my client work is very long and drawn out.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, I don't particularly want to do that for myself, but I want to do something that's a bit more involved than just doing like stories. Because even, I know kind of where I'm a little bit bored of doing the stories. Because it's like, I do like doing it, but at the same time, I'm like, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Who cares? What's the point? You know,
see,
we've all got coronavirus to worry about. But then at the same time, you know, there is that element of when you're thinking that, you know, you're depriving someone else of that laugh or image that they may see, you know.
I see. I've always used it, like Instagram for me is always. By the way, we're going well over, but hey, who cares? Oh, okay. We are the CEOs.
I think you'll find the Yasmin managers will care because she's making my dinner.
Oh, for the love of at this time, 28.
Oh, actually, we'll do that tomorrow. She had issue with you having dinner at 5:40.
I agree. We'll talk about that.
Maybe we should get her and Pamela to have a word about that.
Yes, but just real quick before we close up here, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, I like to do it. The thing I enjoy about Instagram is creating something short and quick and cheap and cheerful that surprises people and surprises me, and then I watch it back and go, that's worked, or wow, that worked better than I thought. And also learning techniques, the things that I have learned from doing Instagram stories daily and filming and editing in my phone, I apply that to my actual like client commercial work now. And the things I have learned, the processes I can go through now in like half the time that I sometimes I'll be out with someone on another shoot and they're shooting something and I'm like, why the hell are you doing that? And they're like, because this is how you do it. I'm like, no, it's fine. That's how you used to do it. You can do it like this. And the amount of times I do so, I'm like, the only reason I know that is because I learned to do it with a phone. And I learned it with so many restrictions. And then when you take that approach and you take it to the like good quality gear, time, extras, other people helping, I think it's really helpful. So I always use Instagram to learn new shit and entertain people. I had a couple of people message me from my story the other day about me sitting on a hammock. And people were like, I actually thought you dropped your phone out the roof. Like legit people were like, he's dropped his phone off his fucking roof. And
to be fair, you probably would have done that.
Dude, I dropped the phone filming the bit of me catching it. I had to throw it so high up because I was trying to throw it, catch it, so you could see me, but then also not break the Lemuro lens off the case.
Wow.
So there you go. All right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're still using the Lemuro lens? Wow.
Yeah, I've still got the iPhone 8. I'm getting a little clip for it as well to use if I upgrade my phone, but I use it for some things when I want it to be a bit more cinematic. All right?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anyway, thanks very much.
That's on.
That's good, dude. We're done here. We're done, son.
Yeah. Yeah, we're done. All right. We'll see you for episode 12 tomorrow.
Later, peeps. Thanks very much.